Alright, let's dive into something that's both deeply personal and universally relevant. Have you ever stumbled upon a story that feels like it was tailor-made for you, even though it's about someone else entirely? That's exactly what happened when I learned about Revolutionaries Never Die, Mohanad Yaqubi's cinematic tribute to Jocelyne Saab, a Lebanese filmmaking pioneer. Here's the thing, this isn't just a film about a filmmaker, it's a conversation across time, trauma, and the relentless pursuit of hope. And personally, I think that's what makes it so compelling. Let's start with the hook. Yaqubi's family home in Gaza was bombed in 2024. Sound familiar? In Saab's 1982 film Beirut My City, she stands in front of her own bombed-out house. What many people don't realize is how these two moments, separated by decades, echo each other in ways that are both haunting and profound. It's not just about destruction, it's about resilience, about standing in the ruins and saying, we can rebuild. That's the kind of storytelling that sticks with you. Now, Yaqubi never met Saab, which is fascinating. He was invited to collaborate with her just 2 months before she died, but he didn't respond. If you take a step back and think about it, that missed connection feels almost symbolic. It's like the universe was nudging him toward her work, even if he didn't realize it at the time. And when he finally did dive into her archive, it wasn't just a restoration project. It became a personal reckoning. What does it mean to carry on someone's legacy when the world feels like it's falling apart? That's the question Yaqubi grapples with, and it's one that resonates deeply in today's chaotic world. One thing that immediately stands out is how Saab's work from the 1970s and 80s feels eerily relevant today. Her films aren't just historical documents, they're living archives of struggle, hope, and resistance. Locarno artistic director Giona A. Nazero called her a living memory, and I couldn't agree more. What this really suggests is that the issues she tackled, war, displacement, the fight for liberation, aren't relics of the past. They are still here, staring us in the face. And that's why Yaqubi's film feels so urgent. But here's where it gets really interesting. Yaqubi didn't start out as a Saab expert. He was more focused on Palestinian cinema and militant filmmaking. It wasn't until he worked on a program called Out of the Shadows, highlighting female filmmakers from the Arab world, that he realized how overlooked Saab and others like her had been. In my opinion, this speaks to a larger issue, the erasure of women's contributions to art and history. Even in movements for liberation, the male gaze often dominates. Why don't we know these stories? Why aren't they taught in film schools? These are questions Yaqubi's film forces us to confront. What makes this really interesting is how Yaqubi's own experiences shaped his approach. After his house in Gaza was destroyed, he saw Saab's work in a new light. He couldn't just restore her films, he had to engage with them, to find a way to continue her legacy. And that's where Revolutionaries Never Die becomes more than a tribute, it's a dialogue between two filmmakers across time, both grappling with the same questions. How do we keep making art in the face of devastation? What does it mean to be a committed filmmaker? From my perspective, the title itself is a manifesto. Revolutionaries Never Die isn't just a nod to Saab's revolutionary spirit, it's a call to action. Yaqubi explains that it comes from a book of conversations about the Palestinian struggle, and it encapsulates the idea that revolution isn't a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. Even in the darkest times, we have to keep thinking, keep creating, because that's how we survive. That's how we ensure that people like Saab aren't forgotten. A detail I find fascinating is how Yaqubi plays with time in the film. He describes it as a loop, where the same images keep repeating, collapsing time and space. This isn't just a stylistic choice, it's a reflection of how history repeats itself. The same struggles, the same images of destruction and resilience, they keep coming back. And yet, there's hope. Saab's work was always infused with this quiet optimism, this belief that we can rebuild, that we can continue. That's the message Yaqubi wants to project, and it's one we desperately need right now. This raises a deeper question: why do we make art? After October 7th, after seeing the atrocities in the Middle East, Yaqubi found himself asking that very question. He teaches his students about the Frankfurt School, about how ideologies enable violence. So how do we move forward? How do we create something meaningful in the face of all this? Revolutionaries Never Die is his answer, a film that's both a tribute and a challenge, a reminder that revolutionaries, like Saab, never truly die as long as their work lives on. So, here's my closing thought: what does it mean to be a revolutionary today? Is it about grand gestures, or is it about the small acts of resistance, the quiet insistence on hope? Saab's life and work suggest it's both. And Yaqubi's film invites us to join that conversation. Personally, I think that's what makes this story so powerful. It's not just about the past, it's about what we choose to do with it. So, what's your revolution? How will you keep it alive?